From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. As the next set of public meetings start next week regarding the decision to bed down F-35 fighter jets at Eielson Air Force Base, we spoke to the 354th Fighter Wing commander about the negative and positive effects the jets would have in surrounding communities.
2 squadrons of F-35 fighter jets could have a home at Eielson if the Secretary of Air Force supports the proposed action outlined in the draft statement. Colonel Mike Winkler says the fact that the draft EIS came out so fast is a testament to how sound the plan is. The alternative action outlined in the draft EIS is not to base the F-35 jets at Eielson. One negative factor if the jets are bed down in the interior is higher noise levels for surrounding communities. Winkler says the noise levels are due to afterburner takeoffs. It's when the jets are finally in flight that sound levels will taper off.
The one awesome thing about the F-35 is it has so much power in that engine that by the time we're 30 seconds after takeoff, we're going to be above 4,000 feet. Nobody's really going to hear us anymore at that point in time. So really the main affected area is going to be the town of Moose Creek, and we'll continue to work with the residents of Moose Creek there to make sure we're minimizing any kind of noise complaints. And if there's anything we can do operationally on base to help mitigate that, we'd certainly take a look at doing that.
With their drilling permits expiring by the end of the month, the head of Shale Oil says the company might be forced to withdraw from its Arctic expedition if no oil is discovered. In an interview with the British Broadcasting Corporation, Shell CEO Ben van Beurden said that if no oil is found during its current campaign, quote, it will probably be the end of the road for our Alaska adventure, end quote. The oil company's drilling permits, which it received in the spring, will expire September 28th. Executive Director for the Alaska Oil and Gas Association, Kara Moriarty, wouldn't speculate on the likelihood of finding oil before the company's permits run out. She does say that a lot is riding on Shell's activity in the Arctic.
There's actually very few companies that could probably afford to have the program that Shell has in place today to do this safely. So we'll just have to wait and see how it all turns out.
A Fairbanks man accused of pulling a large knife on workers at a gas station will serve jail time. 32-year-old Aaron Cox pleaded guilty to a reduced count of third-degree felony assault as part of a deal with the state. Now, according to court documents, Cox stole items from the Cushman Street Holiday gas station. He was confronted outside by employees and then brandished what they initially thought to be a large machete. Workers fled from Cox after he reportedly threatened to kill them. Cox will serve his sentence at the North Star Center, a halfway house for criminals.
The duo, accused of an attempted armed robbery in the Walmart parking lot, has been indicted by a grand jury. 24-year-old Samantha Rogers and 45-year-old James Davison Jr. were indicted on another count of robbery in the first degree stemming from April 2015. According to court documents, Davison and his co-defendant Rogers tried to rob a woman at gunpoint in the parking lot of the retail store but were unsuccessful. They were later arrested and have been in custody at Fairbanks Correctional Center. A trial for their case is scheduled for later this month.
Meeting in Juneau this week, University of Alaska President Jim Johnson led the discussion on possible changes for tuition during the upcoming academic year 2017. While it looks increasingly likely that there will be a tuition increase next year, decisions won't be made until possibly November during the next board meeting. However, 2 options are currently being considered. Johnson suggested an across-the-board tuition hike that would range between a 4% and 8% increase for all attending students in the greater UA system. Now, the other option was to increase tuition for particularly high-costing programs and regional variations. The tuition discussion is strictly focused on concepts rather than details, and a specific tuition proposal will be considered by regents during their November meeting.
All right, we will have more stories when we come back. Please stay tuned. And welcome back. If you were driving downtown this morning, you might have been greeted by a group of smiling faces waving your way. Take a look at what commuters saw earlier today. It was all part of a positive picketing event set up by the United Way of the Tanana Valley. Community members from the organization and its partners lined the Barnett Street Bridge to celebrate Commitment Day. The festivities aim to raise awareness for the nonprofit, bringing light to its services and upcoming events. United Way of the Tanana Valley Executive Director Bill Wright says Commitment Day marks the unofficial kickoff of the organization's biggest fundraiser of the year.
It's actually the largest fundraising campaign in the area, in the Tanana Valley. We raise usually over $1.2, $1.3 million. We'll announce our 2015 goal at our campaign kickoff at the Chamber next week. But that money goes toward the different services that are being provided by the United Way member agencies, and a small portion of it actually goes to many other donor choices.
The U.S. House of Representatives took to the floor to decide whether to continue funding Planned Parenthood with federal money earlier today. Republican leaders pushed the bill through the House along party lines with a 241 to 187 vote. Alaska Representative Don Young was among the majority that voted for the bill. The legislation would freeze federal funding for 1 year, allowing Congress to fully investigate claims that Planned Parenthood is allegedly committing illegal acts. Federal money makes up around a third of the organization's budget. Now the bill will now be sent to the U.S. Senate.
As a follow-up to field hearings he held in Alaska last month, Alaska U.S. Senator Dan Sullivan continues to press the Veterans Administration to fix the Veterans Choice Act. Sullivan said the problems with the act have resulted in a broken VA health care program in Alaska and demands urgent actions. The senator also said that Secretary of Veterans Affairs Robert McDonald's statements that the VA problems were the fault of Congress were unnecessary and did nothing to help the situation.
I don't think that's helpful, and I think we need to just get rid of that whole line of, it's almost whining, right? We need to focus on addressing these challenges. There's a lot of blame to go around, but to have the Secretary come up to Alaska and kind of insinuate that it's really Congress's fault, it's not helpful, and it's actually inaccurate.
For the first time since 2012, Eielson Air Force Base is opening its gates to the public for an open house tomorrow. Eielson will have various aircraft, vehicles, and mission displays that are in operation in Alaska. Food and beverages will be available for purchase, along with a full bazaar sale provided by local businesses. The open house lasts all day, starting at 10 in the morning on Saturday. Base 354th Fighter Wing Commander Colonel Michael Winkler says the intent of the free event is to thank the local community for supporting Eielson's mission in Alaska. He adds that there will be a lot more to see.
Our explosive ordnance disposal guys who do a lot of work in the local community are going to have a robot demonstration out here showing how they get rid of any found explosives. And then we've got a couple jets that are sitting here behind me. We're actually going to do a weapons load demo on those to show everybody exactly the precision required for our maintainers to actually load live weapons.
Despite the collapse in oil prices last year, Alaska will give each resident more than $2,000 next month as the annual payout from its Oil Wealth Trust Fund. About 645,000 residents will receive the payout from the Alaska Permanent Fund. Jerry Burnett, Deputy Commissioner for the Alaska Department of Revenue, said the payout will surpass the 1,884 PFD from last year and is more than the record 2,069 paid in 2008. The exact amount of the payment will be made public Monday by Governor Walker. Checks will be put in the mail and direct deposits will be sent to bank accounts beginning on October 1st.
All right, Joe Cook is next with sports, and he has some nice highlights from Thursday's high school sports action.
Also, find out if the Nanook volleyball team won the conference opener.
All that and more, including the play of the week after the break.
Sports fans, it's TGIF. Time to get the weekend started with the Friday Sportscast. The UAF volleyball team stumbled out of the blocks in their first GNAT game of the season against an up-and-coming team. New conference foe Concordia swept Alaska 3-0 in Portland, Oregon. The Cavaliers held the Nanooks to 10% hitting with the help of 12 blocks in the contest. Sam Hartoon had 10 kills and 3 blocks to lead the Nooks. Samantha Hesterman had a season-high 15 digs in the loss. The Cavs are now 9-0 while the Nooks dropped to 0-8 on the year. Alaska will take on Western Oregon on Saturday. The Mid-Alaska Conference in volleyball has been owned by the West Valley Wolfpack the last few years. Well, Thursday night, North Pole Patriots and West Valley Wolfpack met in their conference openers. This was a rematch of last year's MAC tournament final. West Valley handled business in the opening set with 25-21. Patriots, though, they got stronger as the game went on. They rallied late in the second set behind McKinley Putnam, who had 13 kills and 20 blocks. The Wolfpack countered with a 13-kill game from Ruthie Hebert. West Valley won the second set 25-22. Lindsay Dammel had 38 assists for the Pats. Sophia Mathena served 6 straight points, but the Patriots led 14-6 in the third set, the largest lead of the game, but West Valley battled all the way back. Stella Knox added 9 kills in the comeback effort, and Amber Schmid closed it out from the service line. West Valley wins the final set 26-24 to sweep the Patriots.
This game wasn't our best game. We were definitely sluggish. We were slow. We were not moving our feet, and we weren't playing West Valley volleyball. We really came together as a team, though, and I think that's so positive. Like, it showed us that we can push through even when we're down, and we can come out with a win.
But we're a really young team this year, and and I just see that the girls are really striving to hit their mark, and we're still growing. And the Wolfpack better watch out, because, like I said, as the season goes on, yeah, we're going to take it from them.
Also in volleyball, the Galena Hawks swept the Delta Junction Huskies in Delta. Galena won 25-12, 25-13, 25-17 for the Aurora Conference win. The Lathrop Malamutes keep pace with the West Valley Wolfpack in the flag football standings after last night's game. Lathrop took on the Hutchinson Hawks, and it was all Lathrop in this one. Check out this I-5 nominee. Caitlin Spencer finds Zadie Bell Sanchez, who spins, jukes, and reverses field. She presses the turbo button here and finds the end zone. Big play there by Zadie Bell, but the Malamutes, they weren't done. Lathrop goes with the trickery on their next play. Spencer with a sneaky handoff to Jaslyn Davis. And Davis, she does the rest using that 200-meter dash track speed for the score. She is gone. The defense continued to make plays to hold the Hawks to 0 points. Spencer finds Sanchez for another touchdown late, and the Lathrop Malamutes roll in their 4th shutout of the season and their 4th straight win, a 24-0 win over Hutchinson. In prep tennis, the Wolfpack were pretty dominant in their match against Hutchinson on Thursday. West Valley won 6-1. Jared Lees continues his MAC unbeaten streak. The Wolfpack had 6 6-0 sets as a team. The Hawks won in girls doubles to avoid the sweep, and the Malamutes, they were also 6-1 winners over the Patriots. There were some tight battles in this one, though. Amara Hackett and Anna Kardash won 4-6, 6-1, 11-9 over Leona Sawyer and Brittany Narrow of North Pole. Later, Zach Greenberg defeated Ryan Ziesel 7-6, 6-4. Rosalind Stapp got the lone win in girls #2 singles for North Pole. What is there to do or watch in the interior for sports this weekend? Well, let's take a look. Tomorrow morning, bright and early, is the 53rd Equinox Marathon. The 26.2-mile race starts at 8 a.m. at the UAF Patty Center. There's also a 40-mile ultra marathon, the 13th Kids Equinox Marathon. That follows at 9 a.m. In high school sports, there will be an all-school swim meet at the Westcott Pool at North Pole Middle School at 6 o'clock. In high school football, #2 Nikiski and #5 Eielson will lock horns at 1 o'clock at Eielson Air Force Base. And Saturday night at 7 p.m. is the Mayor's Bowl. Lathrop hosts North Pole in a highly anticipated non-conference matchup. And we wrap things up with the play of the week. The results of the polls and the voting make this one of the closest polls ever. Your play of the week comes from the West Valley Wolfpack. Olivia Shelikin's 52-yard scamper for a touchdown was in a comeback effort against the Hutchinson Hawks. Shelikin's play won by 1 single vote over Carly Fitzgerald's 62-yard touchdown catch. So keep on voting, folks. Again, Shelikin's 52-yard touchdown run and a 20-7 win over Hutchinson is your play of the week. To pick the next POTW, just watch the I-5 Interior Top 5 plays on Mondays during the weekend recap. And that's it for Sports at 6, but come back tonight for the Sports Nightcap for Friday Night Lights and the latest on the Ice Dogs. Mike Schultz is next with your weekend forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into our Friday night Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again, talking about the weather. Started off pretty good. We had more sunshine, then all of a sudden the clouds rolled back in. And that's going to be the trend through the weekend. It looks like clouds, cool, wet, and maybe even some snow at the higher elevations for sure. But here in the Fairbanks area, generally, mainly just some rain showers around the area. Nice photograph. This one's sent in by Randy Humphrey, a late fall scenery. Not quite sure where it's at, but you can see the termination dust on the mountains in the background there. Beautiful blue sky, and of course, the great picture of the trees there. And the Cold River Stream moving through there. Again, as always, if you have a photograph to share, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. Here's your high for today, 47. The low last night, 39, but the record high was 74 in 1995, but in contrast, 17 degrees for the overnight record low in 1904. Sunrise and sunset, about 12 hours and 45 minutes. That's a loss of 6 minutes from yesterday. On our satellite and radar, you can see an area of low pressure still spinning around the Cook Inlet area. That's helping to bring a little patches of moisture through the Fairbanks area, giving us some widespread shower activity. In fact, a little bit closer look with the radar, you can see a little bit of shower activity moving in on the Fairbanks area, so don't be surprised if you see a few sprinkles in the next hour or so, but after that it should not be really anything to get excited about. As far as the rest of the state is concerned, over southeast Alaska, the rains are falling steadily at Juneau and Ketchikan. Not too bad at Anchorage, 51 degrees, partly cloudy skies. The same for Kodiak, 48. Cold Bay, cloudy skies and 48. Up and down the west coast, mainly partly cloudy to clear skies for the most part. 44 at Nome. But north of the Brooks Range, another cold day at Barrow, 29 degrees, cloudy skies. And Fort Yukon, partly cloudy and only 39 degrees for their high there today. Lower 48 weather, well, again, the hot weather is mainly confined to the eastern half of the country. A lot to the west, it's very nice, actually. 67 in Seattle, 79 in San Francisco. Nice day in Denver, 72 degrees. Warming back up again over Texas, though. Dallas-Fort Worth, 95 degrees. Minneapolis, 60. And over the eastern half of the country, not too much going on. A few showers over the Florida Peninsula. Nice weather over the northeast. And on the satellite and radar, a big band of thunderstorms moving through rapidly around the Minneapolis area down to Chicago, moving across the Great Lakes and then just kind of dissipating. That's good news. Out to the west, things are very dry for the most part. A little bit of shower activity moving across the Pacific Northwest. And this rainfall potential is going to get increased because the steering winds are going to drop down a little bit more and bring a little more moisture over California, which is something they need in the worst way. More showers and thunderstorms across Arizona, too. And the overall outlook for next week, calling for the jet stream to take a dive down to the south. When you see a big buckle in the jet stream like that, you get some severe weather, so we got to keep an eye on that area right around where the jet stream bottoms out. Now, back to our kids' weather for today. And all this week, we've been talking with the kids from Arctic Light Elementary School. But tonight, let's hear from the teacher.
Hello, my name is Mr. Wolf, and this is my 6th grade class here at Arctic Light Elementary School. And we have a weather fact for you to share with you. Class, did you know that the temperature of a bolt of lightning has been measured at 54,000 degrees, or 6 times hotter than the surface of the sun?
The kids were amazed, you can tell. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather, and thanks for 50 years of service for the interior. Next week, we'll be having the 3rd grade class from Badger Road Elementary School talking with us. All right, here's your forecast for Alaska. First of all, for the northern section, scattered snow showers for the Barrow area, mostly sunny skies for Nome, and rain and snow showers at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, once again, they're looking at scattered showers with morning fog for Fairbanks, mixed rain and snow for Healy, and showers will become rain in the Delta Junction region. Over southeast Alaska, more rain changing to showers in Juneau. Strong winds with rain for Ketchikan. Over the southwest part of the state, looking at showers for Cold Bay, scattered showers for Kodiak, and isolated morning showers for Bethel. And over the south central sections, well, just mainly scattered showers across the entire region. And our forecast for the remainder of the night, looking for, again, cloudy skies, scattered showers likely, 36 for the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, morning rain and snow showers, mainly at the higher elevations, becoming all rain showers by afternoon. And the forecast for 5 days, again, a chance of more rain and snow showers on Sunday. Temperatures pretty consistent across the board, 40 degrees for the daytime highs, a little bit warmer toward the last part of the 5-day outlook. But look at the overnight lows, 28 and 27 for Tuesday and Wednesday nights. So cooler air moving in.
Ooh, 27.
Yeah.
Say it's not snow.
No, it's not snow.
27.
But the long range outlook does not show any main snow storms.
You know, that I always find funny is that if it was 27 degrees a few months from now, we would be so happy.
Oh, yeah.
But like right now, it just seems kind of
cool. Hey, all the scientists are saying it's going to be warm this year for the winter, so we'll keep their fingers. Keep our fingers crossed, yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Well, on tonight's NBC Nightly News, there's some information about the refugees in Hungary. We'll have to see what Lester Holt has to say about that.
All right. And join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
All righty. From all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a great weekend.
Good night.